Over the last few seasons, we've had a plethora of animes that have an immense potential factor, right? Where they are scaled above shows that don't have much going for it. Of course, there isn't going to be perfect shows all around each season, that just isn't likely. And here in this summer season of animes, there's a few shows that of course shine with their respective popularity from either the show itself or the manga adaptation. But then there's one show which I didn't even have on my radar until the season began, that being Lycoris Recoil. I was first intrigued by the cover art actually because I thought it's pretty interesting, so you know what, I went in blind. And at first, I really liked it, but as the second half of the show progressed, my opinion begins to skew from something that I thought was pretty good to something of just plain mediocrity. And that's where this video is at, where this show I really do think has the potential to be something good, but is relying on way too uninspiring plots. Now, I'm going to be going to more spoiler territory, so you've been warned, but I started really enjoying the show in episode 3. In this episode, basically the two main characters start to really connect with one another. Prior to this, Takina, who is the black-haired girl, was expelled from the department she worked in, where she would work to stop crime being behind the public eye. She would stop like bombs and people just smuggling stuff. And I'll get to my overall thoughts of this whole setting later, but I like Takina out of any of the characters actually in the show. She disobeyed orders to save one of the teammates alive when they were smuggling guns and stuff, which of course everyone around her disagreed with, and she overall got expelled. She got transferred to work in a different branch, which is completely surreal to Takina because she was so used to working basically as a cadet, but now works in a more relaxing and calming environment. She meets a girl named Chisato, who at first she struggled to get along with. I mean, Takina was more uptight and serious, while Chisato was more easygoing and outgoing. But by episode 3, Takina starts to get close to Chisato, where I'd consider them to be really good friends. She didn't have that before, but now she does. They both rely and trust one another, and as more episodes come out, that would stay true. This is overall a great episode, and I felt good about the relationship between the two starting to blossom in the early parts of the show. However, after that is where the show started to decline for me, mainly with Chisato out of all the characters. Most of the characters, in all honesty, don't really matter. They are just doing their jobs right, and I don't see much point in them other than to continue the main plot of the story. It was foreshadowed way too much about the direction the show will go with who the main enemy is to Chisato, as she's the character with the most unanswered questions about her. And this trope is just uninteresting, man. She's a cheery and forgiving person, yeah, but hides behind her past, and it's really getting boring seeing this trope time and time again. Another show airing this season, Classroom Elite, I made a video about this a few weeks ago, but has the exact same problem with the main character, in which this main character trope is just boring at this point. We need something more than this, man. But just for the record, before you Classroom Elite fanatics get attack me in my throat, I do think the show's good. I think the main character is good. The main reason people like Inakuji-kun, of course, is because he's cool, and that's something that Chisato just doesn't have. I mean, she's cute, but that's kind of it. There's nothing else that's really impressive here, other than her ability to magically dodge bullets in front of her going 200 miles per hour, but I'll let it slide. And right now, I'm just predicting there's going to be a breakthrough with her finding out the true culprit of all the chaos that's happening, and she falls down, cries, but Takina is there to save her. It's just too predictable, man, and I really had hoped for the show to do something interesting. But as of right now, there hasn't been anything besides a few memeable scenes within the last few episodes of really feel engaged. Now, ignoring the characters, I'm going to briefly mention my problem with the setting. There is not much really to say. I mean, I think it's kind of weird secretly training teenage girls to fight in shootouts, but it's the main part of the story, so I can't really complain about it, right? But I'm glad they are focusing on the two working at a cafe, because it's more calming and easier to follow, if you know what I mean. However, the bigger problem with the story is honestly the foreshadowing. Like, I genuinely wish they didn't reveal who the main villain is, because it's just boring now. I know it's a small thing, but it's ruining the story for me at least. There's of course time to fix this with still 6 episodes to air as I'm making this video, but I want this show to do well. It seems to be a hidden gem this season, and I do think there's truly potential for a good series to be remembered by people. The animation's great, the music's great, there just needs to be more spice to Chisato specifically, because she's just not going through change at all yet, and I want something different from what I'm expecting as of right now. The relationship between these two characters is how this series will thrive, and I have faith that it can be handled to satisfy. Thanks for watching today's video. Let me know what shows you guys are watching right now, and if there's something I should check out. Stay safe, guys, and I'll catch you later. Bye.